So we're going to try this again. It's almost funny and comical what they do to the live video streams. It's almost funny. It's almost comical what they do. They do this deliberately. This is fair. This is a government that is afraid of free speech. This is a government that is afraid of free speech. Ironically, coincidentally, sarcastically, this government got into power riding on free speech. Keith Rowley, were it not for the tenets of free speech, would be a ignored rabble-rouser in the parliament. Patrick Manning backing dog. He used free speech to his full advantage. He and Farris used free speech to their full advantage. And coming to government, they want to squash free speech. Don't put God out all your thoughts and entertain this bunch of mad jackasses beyond this term, you know. Don't put God out all your thoughts. Because they're insane. They're insane. Anyway, I was telling you all before we lost it just now. And I need to go and share the video. You all need to share the video. And I'm going to go and share it now. But I was telling you before the recording stopped that, you know, you all saw the news about this island where this missionary went to convert the island people and they kill him. You all saw that? You all saw that piece of news? Even that island that nobody is allowed to come to, that kills people from outside, even that island have better internet providers than Trinidad. Even that island have better phone service than Digicel and B-Mobile and Flow. This is a cesspool. This is a shithole. This is a country where people bill you for 4G, and we've never had 4G in Trinidad. We still don't have 4G, but you're paying for it. You're paying for it because you go on your lineup and you pay your bills dutifully. Because nobody want to complain. Nobody wants to complain besides Phillip Alexander. What the hell wrong with that man? Why you don't just hush and take the jam like the rest of them? and Michael Coelho, I hear you, bro. And every single day I think about just relocating to a country that works. And what keeps me here more than anything is I don't want these devils to prosper. These nasty people, I don't want them to prosper. They're prospering crookedly, corruptly, and then going and sit down in the front of the church and giving tithes and making donations public for people to see. Anyway, and then there's this song I'm going to play. But seriously, now I can't play that. I want to dedicate a song to Keith Rowley tonight. Here's for Keith. While the song playing, share it like that. We'll jump in the conversation. They shot liars from all them foreign countries. From a field about 1,000 or so entries. In 2 days, they boiled down and leave just 3. I had me lion, lion. Because I know he does come with some good ones. But they had a younger fella named Bebo, come from some village there in Tobago. He said father is Tobago's best fisherman. Catch a fish a mile wide, 80 feet in span. He had to tie it on the boat and swim back to land to get his brother Eric to make him They didn't have a Stuart Young. Stuart Young have a 6-degree black belt in lying. He is the minister of propaganda. Deceit and trickery is his art form. The man is a serious teller of untruths. Stuart Young could lie on a lie and still keep it a lie. Even with him, a double negative don't work. Stuart Young could lie on Satan. Stuart Young could lie on evil. Stuart Young is the kind of person the Pope and Jesus will say, nah boy, I can't touch that one. Stuart Young is a formidable liar. He is serious, and when you watch him, you wouldn't know he have them kind of skills, but he real good. Stuart Young convinced this nation, hear what I tell you with a straight face, that they're going and ban something that's already illegal. So the conversation he having with the nation is pushing past that the government has failed to secure the country, that scratch bombs flowing through here illegally, that fireworks, which are illegal to own, sell, and discharge, are being sold by Fire One Fireworks because Andre Abraham knows how to line with UNC and PNM financiers. So that the same government that Stuart Young represented, that come out to ban scratch bombs, didn't tell the nation scratch bombs already illegal. And we fail. Them fail. The country fail. Scratch bombs already illegal. So we're going and ban it now. I want to know how that shit works, Stuart. I'm looking forward with bated breath.
You hear lie? Teach a person say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die. Why, sir? Check it out. Liar, the lion, he laughed till he sweat. He said, Mr. Debo, you ain't saying nothing yet. If you really want to talk about fishing, let me blow your mind. Now listen to something. When you're talking about fish, you just hit the spot. I was hoping you would believe it or not. The fish your father caught, to you it was great, but it's them small fish my father does use for bait. Faris Al-Rawi told the nation that we are grinding to a halt, that we unbankable, that unless we pass a piece of legislation, the rest of the world will cut we off. This same country that just sent $500 million worth of coke to Vietnam, $1 billion worth of coke to Spain, $600 million worth of coke to Norfolk, Virginia, $400 million worth of coke to Canada, $650 million worth of coke in Monas. We sent a bottle of PAD to England and kill a man. He opened it thinking it was sweet drink. Pure uncut cocaine. This is Trinidad and Tobago, narco paradise, who the same Faris Al-Rawi stood up in the parliament and told people with a straight face, your Attorney General, former PRO of the PNM, where you have to be an accomplished liar to hold that post. The man that follow him is Stuart Young. Fitzgerald Hines had it for a while. Faris Al-Rawi told the nation, told the parliament, the sacrosanct highest court in the land, that the person who shipped the cocaine to Norfolk, Virginia, did so anonymously. And went ahead on points in the show, completely eliminated Mr. Debo. The next man to beat was really outrageous.
He asked the judges if he could lie first.
The judges asked Lion. The Lion agreed. Say any topic we'll pick is alright with me. He outrageous, I strong.
Let me see head on, and when we done, see who head fit to wear the crown. If Faris and Stuart Young was in that competition, you think Lion the Lion could have win? You think Lion the Lion could have beat Stuart Young, who want to ban, as Minister of National Security, want to ban thing that already illegal? Faris told the nation, post 9/11, in a world where you can't ship nothing to America until they know your length and your shoe size, he tell the parliament and nobody asks a question. Because in this Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the hell you like land, if all the players on the board, if all the people who hold in public office is part of your gang, nobody going to question you when you tell your...
From your hair lie, that is lie. Lie, your hair lie. Teacher Percy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die. Let it go. Let it go. Shook it up.
Well, remember Nelson in the day?
The operator said
That he knew a tailor come to make a suit. The man is a master. If you show him a man coming round a corner, he will make him a suit and don't even measure.
I'm talking about suit.
Sitting down correct, expertly made and fitted perfect. He used to sew for Shakespeare, make suit for Hamlet, and up to this day he ain't make a mistake yet.
You know the crowd went wild. They couldn't cool down.
As if lion in lion, losing the ground,
The judges brought the crowd back to order.
and asked the lion to lie about a tailor.
He said, my man is the best.
Rolfie is his name.
Cutting cloth.
Making suit is his game. Don't show him the man, my tailor is class. Just show him the corner where the fella pass.
And he gon' make a suit.
That is Taylor. And hear me, Stuart Young is a brilliant liar. The man have a 6-degree black belt. Faris is his master. Faris is Silver Fox. To Stuart Young 6-degree. Faris could lie. But you see the two of them bow when the master walk in the room. Keep Christopher Mugabe Sabgarowli, king of the infidels, liar-in-chief of Trinidad and Tobago. When Keith Rowley walks into the room, all liars bow down. Because Keith Rowley lied on Gary Griffith in the parliament and accused Gary of treason. Himself, Rowley, committing treason, but accused Gary of treason. And then come and appoint Gary Commissioner of Police. The same Gary, the same Rowley. This man, Keith Rowley, I want to tell you something. He could spin gold out of straw when it comes to lying. This man, Keith Rowley, take Ken Gordon, poor Ken Gordon, who carved a career out of blood, out of stone, carve it 1 inch by inch. Ken Gordon entertained that stinking son of a bitch once in his house. Rowley living down the road on Newberry Hill, and called Ken. He said, I'm calling you because I want to show you something. He never told Ken Gordon, I come in my capacity as the opposition leader to talk to you in your capacity as chairman of the Integrity Commission. And Ken Gordon had to say, I had to take notes quick. Because I couldn't believe what this man was talking to me in my house about. The two of them going on record to say that they had a conversation as prosecutor and judge without the accused present. That is a frustration and an abandonment of the laws of natural justice and due process. But Keith Rowley went further. He went in the parliament and said that somebody put this in his mailbox. Confuffle Wade Mark. But Wade Mark wasn't set up, you know, early on in them old time kick up. The first man that jump in the scene that get the hoo-ah and fly off the side. That was Rowley to Wade. Wade wasn't the man for that. Wade wasn't the speaker to say, hey, slow your roll, partner. Bring them documents, let me see. Turn off the parliament channel. You see, he was supposed to hold Wade Mark as Speaker of the House because of the damning allegations. He was supposed to host that in camera, which ironically means with the camera off. But he was supposed to host it without the nation watching that. The parliament alone was supposed to see what was being said there, because there was no way, and I want you to hear what I am about to say. Keith Rowley told the nation that he got Emailgate in his mailbox that was so damning. It foretold of the Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, her Attorney General, Anand Ramlogan, and Kamala's National Security Advisor, Gary Griffith, conspiring with others, including Suraj Rambachan, to murder Denise Ren. And he said, when he read that, he was aghast, he was taken aback, he was in shock. What did he do? He gave it to Max Richards. He didn't call the police. He didn't call the police and report a conspiracy to murder Denise Ren. He didn't call the police. He didn't call Denise Ren and give her a heads up. Hey, Denise, some high and powerful people looking to kill your girl, get out of the country. He ain't called Denise. He ain't even called the media to say the government trying to kill a journalist. He ain't called Matt. He ain't called the Integrity Commission. He ain't called the Amnesty International. He called nobody. He went to Max Richards. He knows as a parliamentarian then for 28 years, Keith Rowley knew without a shadow of a doubt that the president of the Republic had no authority over that document. But Keith Rowley wanted to stunt and he wanted to draw this man. This man construct a lie. Well played, you know. He wanted to draw Max in. You see, he wanted to stamp it with the imprimatur of something being real. The president saw it. The chairman of the Integrity Commission saw it. This is a document. But it's like when I went to a store in Trin City Mall called Sports and Games and bought a belt. I thought I bought a leather belt. And when I look on the back of it, it says what I thought was genuine leather belt. So I buy it. And 3 months later, it crack up. So I turn it over to say, leather don't crack like this. And when I turn it over, I see genuine belt. And they didn't lie. It was a genuine belt. It just wasn't leather. I saw leather. And that's what Rowley did us. Rowley sell us a genuine belt. Rowley sold this nation. This is a document. And the president read it. And the Integrity Commission chairman read it. So we said, well, them read it. And the chairman of the Integrity Commission was aghast, and the president was aghast, but not one of them called the police to report a conspiracy to murder. Not one. Not Rowley, not Ken Gordon, not Max Richards. They're holding a document that they take seriously. Seriously enough that Kid Rowley used that document to try an attempted coup d'etat. Kid Rowley used that document to try to throw down the government. Kid Rowley constructed a beautiful lie. Dave Lux, I agree. Kid Rowley is the greatest of all time. Kid Rowley constructs lies for you to end up in the future. He do Manning that, but we'll stick a pin. We'll come back to what he do Manning. I want to deal with this because even Manning was shocked. Manning went to the parliament to beg for help. He said, my good friend, I will never forget. I will never forget Manning standing up in the parliament begging for assistance. He becomes a raging bull. You know, they go to tell. You want to tell on somebody. Kid Rowley is the greatest liar this country has ever produced. There will never be another one. Kid Rowley told the nation that Emailgate was real, that we were to take it seriously because it foretold conspiracies to commit murder, to bug the director of public prosecution's office, to have Archie pick him up and make the DPP a judge so they could free up themselves to get a case passed for Asian Steve. And let me tell you something, Let me tell you this, the UNC, bright, they're capable of that kind of shit. But Kamala and Rudal, they have a picture from Emailgate. The two of them sit down so, side by side. Express put that on the front page. Because the Express wanted to use that to say, look, both of them so. Kamala face here and Rudolph face here, side by side. And the Express take the side shot. And the Express thought that it was showing Kamala and Rudolph in shock that people find out. But that's not what they were shocked about. Kamala watched Rudolph and said, fuck, we could have do this. We could have do this and get away with it. Because the UNC bright and the UNC capable. The UNC will thief milk and sugar out of coffee. Don't turn your back on them, you know. Don't turn your back on them. The UNC invent ways to thief money that the country can't figure out yet, you know. Administrations to come in the future will say, but wait now. How do UNC own the cemetery? Because they do that shit. And they do it well. They unleash lawyers, the UNC, like termites into the system. I don't want to forget Rowley, you know, because this is about them. This is about them liars. And Keith Rowley is the greatest of all times. But when you're finding out as you go along, what was allowed to happen, PNM financiers make money with the UNC. Once you're willing to commit crime with we committing crime with you. When the UNC realized what Faris Al-Rawi had done, and they would have put Faris' whole family in trouble. When they realized what Faris Al-Rawi and Patrick Manning had done with One Alexandra Place, if they cared about country or justice, police would have been involved. But Chandra Sharma said, wait a minute. Them in this, them can't talk about this. Let me ride it. Let me see what we could get out of it. $100 million spent under the UNC in contracts to friends and family of Chandra Sharma that never put a table, a picture, a mirror, not a hand dryer or a paper towel in the toilet in that same One Alexandra Place. And the citizens of this country pay a rent to the Nahus family month after month after month for years for a building that we never use. That is the UNC and the PNM. In deep dark, they buried together in the heart of the earth. You can't separate them. In criminal conspiracy, you can't separate the two of them. But Rowley's play with Emailgate. I mean, what I watch Rahal do with Milshiv, I say they should write a book. The Rahal family should write a book about Milshiv. But then, they could come out with a part 2, Greenvale. Because we get away with Milshiv. Let me do Greenvale. Let's get a member of the family as the Minister of Health, so we could launch CDAP, so we could create Super Farm, make all the money. We get away with that? Let me get the same member of the family appointed as Minister of Agriculture, so we could give ourselves some land, so we could build Greenvale and sell Greenvale back to the country and make all the money. Let me fix Taruba Road. Let me take the land next to Taruba Road. Let me cut a road through that piece of land and rent it back to the government. Let me be so blasted bold-faced, we will call it Rahal Boulevard. All you think, all you bright, all you joking, all you have to wake up, drink coffee, snort cocaine to get yourself to the level. These people step off with their drawers and them they're ready for you. You think it's joke bacchanal is going on in this country? I hear a lawyer talk about a place where you could go and wash your car on a Saturday and it's only 1%ers. And you want to cut a deal? It's like a casino. You walk in there and you say, I have a $200, what table I could play on? But come back to Rowley and Emailgate. Come back to Rowley and Emailgate. Rowley and Emailgate has to be investigated for an attempt to overthrow a government by trick. And the last time I checked, that was treason. Keith Rowley told the nation that Emailgate was real when Colin Inwood hid from it. Faris Al-Rawi didn't want to say nothing about it. Everybody was watching to see if he get away with it. Keith Rowley, he didn't care. He knew he was the best liar in this country.
Taylor, you hear lie? King liar. Teach your pussy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die. Back it up.
Chairman of the Degomata Regional Corporation, herself a PNM, herself a councillor, herself the councillor for the area that includes Bayshore, herself handpicked under Keith Rowley. She and Keith Rowley shared a common office opposite La Puerta. That is her region, Suzanne Hong. She is responsible for Bayshore. She told the nation, when we light it on fire, she said, hey, them never come near me. And then they went and they dealt with her. How they dealt with her to get her to change her story, I don't know. But she changed her story and said, okay, they came to me. So which is it? Which is the truth? You, the councillor of the community who didn't know the gate existed, fire yourself for that. Fire yourself immediately. You're the chairman of the Degomata Regional Corporation and you didn't know a major area in your community gated itself off. That the community members seized the community. That was, why didn't Ada Aboud Polanyi and Lindsay Gillett design a flag? Why didn't secede? Why didn't call it 1% land? and secede from the nation. Why they didn't put a passport office on Regent's Park Bridge, and they choose a bridge like Checkpoint Charlie. You had to give them props for that. They come to the bridge, so they're a moat. These little children playing grown up, you know. They're a moat. They secede from Trinidad. How does the chairman of the Diego Martin Regional Corporation not know that Ada Aboud Polony and Lindsay Gillette seceded from Trinidad? How did she not know that a chunk of the Western Hemisphere was stolen, gated, signs put up? You are now entering 1% stand land. You are now entering. You will be checked. You could be in danger. Make sure you have your passport and your visa ready to show. Because that's what they did. That's what they did. And she who was responsible to make sure nobody don't steal chunks of the land, she didn't. How is she still in office? How is she still in office? This nation is a mad, mad place. It happened in Keith Rowley's community. You know why? Because when Rahal and Gillen built Renaissance Towers down in Shorelands, they built it on a property that was Shorelands Hotel that they couldn't sell because there are 35-foot limit to where you could have built. But Rahal and Gillen tied with Rowley. And Rowley was not only the member of parliament, but he was the minister to give the approvals to float the law. And the poor people in Shorelands went to Rowley as their member of parliament, not knowing that the fix was in, that the deal was done, that their throats were cut. They were going to the red wedding, that they were coming there voluntarily to the man who cut their throat. Was true, Satan would be in Trinidad right now. If you would go to hell, if you told a lie, Satan. You see how the Chinese building a massive embassy in Maraval, next to Assumption Church, opposite the country club? You see how the Chinese building that embassy here? They would have an embassy of hell. And a representative of Satan would be in Trinidad too. Because had it not been for me and the Progressive Empowerment Party saying, wait now, how come every budget we ain't hearing nothing about the Pitch Lake? Arguably, the most important industry in Trinidad and Tobago. When they tell you about this one discover it and that one discover it, tell them miss me with your bullshit. Venezuela was discovered because of the Orion Salt Lagoon when England and Spain went to war and Spain cut off their salt supply. And the same thing happened when the world was looking for ways to cork the boards in their boats. When they find the Pitch Lake in Trinidad, Trinidad was put on the map. The name Labre means the tar. That's what it means. They didn't try to get a name, the tar, on the planet. Look where the tar is. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? That is the most important thing that we own. If we lose every petrotrin you could throw away, TSTT you could throw away, them things passing and going, pitch, we will always need. We will always find a use for it. The Chinese know when you run out of road to pave on the planet, you could take that pitch and package it in water sealing, waterproofing material and export to the world. The Chinese know the tar. Go to the source. Go to the monkeys that run in the country, Kamala and Keith, and bribe them. Hang some earrings on them and their wives and fool them with shit. Do like Columbus. Throw shiny shit on the ground for the natives to fight and grab like children when you bust a pinata fighting for candy. It's Kamala and Keith. I go take a Cuba hospital. I go take a Labitco. Yeah, we all do for me. Like jackasses. And the Chinese say, okay, you can have whatever you want. We'll just hold the Pitch Lake. And if you can't pay, we'll keep it. You keep it. It's like Bud Stewart. No. He could burn down every sandals he owned. Burn it down, it's worthless. Tobago is the most important, most unspoiled, blessed piece of tourist paradise in the world. That we've never had an ability to manage Tobago doesn't take away from the intrinsic value of Tobago. Hear me? The Bahamas, the Canary Islands, the Virgin Islands, all of them that you go all over the world, the Pacific, all these little tiny islands that you hear, Indonesia, pick all of them up and throw them in the dustbin. There is not one of them has the quality of Tobago. Tobago waters, Tobago nylon pool, no man's land, the Boko Reef, the brain coral, the old world forest, Tobago. Who you bring in? You know, when you look at the top tourist destinations in the world, and you don't see Tobago as #1, you know Eric Williams was a jackass. George Chambers was a jackass. Arthur Napoleon Raymond Robinson was a jackass. Patrick Manning, jackass. Kamla Prasad Bissessa, jackass. Keith Rowley, jackass. Tobago is supposed to be the #1. They're supposed to line up. And hear this. When God wants to embarrass you with riches, Grenada, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Nevis, Dominica, Cuba, Jamaica, Tobago nicer than the two of them combined. And people that say Cuba unspoiled, Tobago nicer than the two. None of them have what Tobago have. You can take all of them. And you know what? God wanted to spoil we. He said, besides giving you a gale, I will put only oil outside the hurricane belt. So every 10 years, all the rest of them islands got to start over from scratch. All your Tobago will have a constant head start. The only tourist destination outside of the hurricane belt. We don't have typhoon. We don't have tsunami. Tobago is just Tobago. Or the only natural disasters we deal with is PNM and UNC. PNM and UNC. So we can't get nothing else because we're tolerating and dealing with and managing that. We're suffering under that. The Red Cross should be picking up supplies for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Not just food and clothes, you know. Things like Valium and Prozac. They should be sending counselors to this nation to take care of the people, to undo the madness. We should be getting an international mental intervention to undo the insanity that has been the PNM and the UNC. We've laid down and had these people rape us in our eye socket, our ears, our mouth. They cut and make new hole and bull we there. And I'm not joking. I want you to hear me. A man tell me, Phillip, be nice. People want to vote for you. I don't want you to vote for me. I want you to hear me. I want you to wake up. I want you to rip off all of the shackles on your mind and throw it on the ground. So when any political stunt artist come near you, no matter who, high, low, jack or game, when they come to you, they must hear coming out of your mouth. Keep Christopher Mugabe, Sabga Rowley, king of the infidels, first black Syrian, went in Tobago and tell them use critical thinking. And I said, brother, if the people in your audience was using critical thinking as one, they would have stood up right then, stoops, and walk out that hall. You pay them to attend. You don't want critical thinking. You want masked minds and closed eyes. You want people to buy your bullshit wholesale and run here and say, sugar. That's what you want. Yeah? That is what you want. You don't want real, genuine, authentic, logical, deducing, critical thinkers. You don't want that. You don't want that. Come check Kamla outside children on my wall. Let me just send them on the way. I'm going to get them out of the block. We had to do that. To keep the conversation flowing. You had to keep them away from us. You see, they have a man named Golal come on the chat last night. He come on the line. He said, bye. You gotta link up with Kamala, bye. Or you will split the votes, bye. And I want to tell him, bro, if we could split the votes, not yet 2 years old, bye. Tell Kamala bye. Tell the UNC bye. Because they have nothing to offer anybody in this nation after the opportunities that they had to run this country and what they did with it. They are criminals to even consider themselves having the moral authority. That is what you call audacity. That is balls like a bull. You have to be, Kamala had to be sitting down there thinking herself, but wait now. I get it. with this. The same gillet that Pandey put, that Ramesh exposed, Kamala put back. Man, come on, we trade and argue with people. Link up, bye. Link up. Because you're going to split the votes. If my people in my country so stupid that they vote for either the PNM or the UNC, after they see all that they see, they deserve everything they get. Especially the people who don't vote. Especially those people. The people who don't vote, they deserve it more. They deserve it more. That is like saying, if I don't want to eat the lion ain't going to want to eat me. And that is foolishness. The truth of our unending condition is that we've been infected in our minds and have been playing a game of lesser evil bullshit for too long and have allowed people who stand behind the PNM and the UNC. I watched one man, one man, get hundreds of millions of dollars of public contracts. His father get hundreds of millions of dollars of public contracts. His wife get hundreds of millions of dollars of public contracts. His sister husband get hundreds of millions of dollars of public contract. His mother brother, hundreds of millions of dollars. This one man, this one little family, lightning strike hard and permanent. And you know what? PNM and UNC give them this. PNM and UNC give them this. I watch a next man who in the chemical business get 200 acres from PNM, 200 acres from UNC. Call it farmland. Use it for what? Use it for what? Bounce me up in a party and say, hey, you're calling my name. I say, bro, I don't care about your name, you know. I don't care about you. I care about my country. When I'm dealing with issues, the names and the faces interchangeable. They don't matter to me. What matters to me is the fact that we allow this to continue. I heard somebody say that the condition of this country requires that we face this fact. That the problem is not the PNM and the UNC, you know, we can replace them. The problem is that there are people who believe that the PNM or the UNC is a solution to the insanity of the PNM and the UNC. That the only reason they are tolerated, the only reason that you vote for them, the only reason that you accept them is because of the other. You're that stupid that you don't support the party you're supporting, but you're voting against the other party. That the only reason I like UNC is because the PNM exists, or the only reason I like PNM is because the UNC exists. That is insanity. That is doing the same wrong and expecting different results. That's like taking a knife and sticking it in an outlet. Get shocked. Stick it again. Get shocked. Stick it again. Get shocked. The fourth time you're hoping for orange juice. Come on, man. Kid Rowley, you don't want critical thinkers. Critical thinkers sound like me. Critical thinkers sound like the PP. And listen to it growing throughout the land. I have to keep telling people, I talk the way I talk to break through and break past whatever is holding your mind, sucking your common sense out of your head like a parasite. I talk like this so that you can't miss the message. Don't like me, I have a problem with that. I like me enough for everybody. You don't like me. What I want you to hear my words. Hate me for the truth, but accept the truth. Accept the truth. Take it and say, all right, to hell with Phillip, but I walk in with this and I'm going to fix it too. Because 1.4 million of us set on fire for a better country is all this nation needs. They have people who are so frustrated. They have no idea what they want to do. They just know that the PNM and the UNC have to go. They don't know how to build a party. They don't know how to organize. They don't know how to fight the power structure. They don't want to raise their head too high because they know the 1% and all their co-conspirators and all the public office holders will victimize the shit out of them. I walk in banks, I tell you, I walk in banks and I could look behind the counter and see who for me and who against me. For my politics, for the fact that I speak out. I could see, I could tell. There are people, I remember Chris Rock, it was Chris Rock who told the joke about the man who bad drive him, so he bad drive him back, the man bad drive him again, he bad drive him back, the man bad drive him, and he bad drive him back. And then he went in a gas station, and the man come and pull him out of the car and start to beat him. And he said halfway into the cutters, he realized that this man can't be this vexed with him over a bad drive. I understand that concept, I understand that idea. The truth of the matter is, if what we want is a better country, we are not going to get it playing hide and seek politics. There are people whose mission in life is to frustrate decency, frustrate common sense. They don't have to think. They don't even have to make sense. They just have to make noise. That's all they have to make. Half of Kamala supporters don't vote for Kamala, you know. But them just racist to the core and they want to say, I voted that because I was an Indian. But think about the country. It's like the people who voting for the PNM because they're black. I watch a man come on the wall and one of the chairs and he argue a point about the PNM education, and he made a deduction that was so incorrect that to correct him would have been to insult him. Just to point out to him that his reasoning is wrong. And that is the problem I have with the PNM education. That they've removed your ability to critically think. They didn't tell you how to think. They told you what to think. And that's dangerous. Farris is a dangerous man. Stuart Young is a dangerous man. The whole world just caught our Attorney General and our Minister of National Security lying. We jailed refugees. That we are signatories to international agreements about the rights of refugees. And in the dead of night, we arrest them and jail them. And now, trying to pretend that the law that we signed, trying to pretend
the lion went ahead up to hell sooner to get it, brother Eric. Lie.
Farris and Stewart convinced the nation that the law that we wrote as a nation, signatures to international agreements ratified by Parliament, Farris and Stewart did not know and spoke out. And when the international community said, friend, you're breaking your own law, Stuart Young, Junior Maduro, come to tell the nation, the United Nations have an agenda. Well, brother,
you hear lie? Teacher Pussy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die.
and I cannot stress enough. I cannot stress enough that this orange jersey is we had the responsibility to create a real alternative. We can't just expose the PNM and the UNC for the racist criminal cults that they are, because the people will say, well, what are we supposed to do? So we've created a fully democratic organization built on principles, plans, policies, ideas. We came out of the box with a manifesto. 21 policies were released to the nation to say, if you want to fix it, it could fix. We have every single Saturday, including tomorrow, an open mic with the entire leadership of this party. People who 3 months, 6 months, 9 months ago wasn't in the party, that in the party now, and they control and own the party. And come and talk to them and they will tell you so. We created a party where you could come and challenge. We created a party where you could come and contribute. We created a party that is so democratic that you could come and rise inside the party, like a meteor. I can't pronounce that word. Like a meteor, and you could become. I mean, I tell you, it is always a joy. I say it to them. I say the most rewarding thing for me is to watch somebody come, find this party, join the party. Let me give you an example. There's a lady in the party named Keisha Lewis. Keisha, I used to watch Keisha come to the Saturday meetings and sit down quiet. Not in the back, not in the front, a little way off the middle. And she would sit down close to the wall and look and listen. And she'd listen. Don't make no contributions. She's there every week. And slowly but surely, she found herself in the party. And before you know it, she was a caretaker of a constituency. And she is now the head of the women's arm. In quick time, her obvious talents came to the fore. And she is now the head of the women's arm of the Progressive Empowerment Party because there are no impediments to progress in this party. Come and talk to Keisha. Come and talk to her. And I say that to you so that you understand this orange shirt. It's not an easy role to hold. This is not easy. To the people who want to form all of these independent parties, everybody wants to sell a different version of an alliance of independence or an organization of independence or a no-party party. Phillip Franco is called the no-party party. Because all of them want the structure of a political party, but they don't want the work involved in actually building a political party. Because to build and grow and operate and fund and finance and plan a political party is real work. This is not easy. These live videos that I do at night, they're not easy. To hold your attention this long, to talk this much information, not easy. And to do it once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. This is 2 running years. It's not easy. What we do, not easy. You cannot say 41 independent people run wherever you believe in. Run for elections and we will join up after and call ourselves the government. It doesn't work. It is how it is written, believe it or not, on the Constitution. But it doesn't work. And I'll tell you why it doesn't work. And Phillip Franco is a good guy and he loves his country. But he doesn't understand what he's trying to sell. Now, I've given him some mileage here because nobody takes him on. But I want him to hear me because Phillip Franco has a lot to contribute. I watched Phillip Franco slave in the vineyards of the Congress of the People. And Phillip Franco has a lot to contribute. And I would like Phillip Franco to come back to the Progressive Empowerment Party. And I want him to understand that the moment you become a government, you have to stand for and against things. It becomes your government's agenda, and you also need a legislative agenda. But the government's agenda instructs the budget. And if you read the Constitution, if you can't pass a budget, your government collapses automatically. If you cannot pass a budget, the government collapses. By law. That is the only, besides calling an election, failure to pass a budget is the only way the government collapses. You cannot pass a budget by sitting down in a room with 41 people you don't know and saying, okay, $5 billion for education. Let's do this. And the people in the room saying, but wait, I don't stand for that. I don't agree with that. I didn't know that. That was where, who talked about that? Who plan was that? You see, you need going in people who stand for certain things together. That we agree, like in the Progressive Empowerment Party, the names of the party mean something. All our policies must be progressive, forward-thinking, first world. It must unite the nation and like a rising tide, lift all boats. All of our policies must take all of our people forward, together. That's what progressive in politics means. Empowerment. The word empowerment in our name is instructive to the work that I do every night. Christoph Samlal and Nikolai Edwards and Fax did a video today. Instructive to the youths. Derek Lawrenson, Chalana Birchwood, Tony Defoe, Janice Lemon-Cricky, Felicia Holder, Richard Blaze. These people put out videos, put out information. Our teams that do all the writing, that share all the information all day, every day. It is empowering. It is instructive to the people that this is how it is. This is how it could be. This is how it should be. This is what is wrong. And this is what is right. And you choose. But having information that educates empowers you. Because when you could talk to people who come to, it's like insurance. When somebody comes to sell you insurance, they could do you just about anything if you have no idea what insurance is. And what your responsibility is and what their responsibility is. And a lot of people found out after the flooding in Greenville that a lot of the insurance that they bought had no fire, no earthquake, no flooding cover. They just buy a genuine belt, like me. The Progressive Empowerment Party chose as its symbol an umbrella. We have 3 human shapes under the umbrella. They have no color, they have no creed, they have no class. They are to represent all of us under the safety of an umbrella. An umbrella is the international symbol for safety and protection. We chose the color orange, not because it was a color that was left. We deliberately chose the color orange for what it symbolizes: safety, protection, togetherness. Everything about the Progressive Empowerment Party was thought out deliberately and planned. When you come to this party, you find out that our policies are predicated on the sanctity of the human, the person, the citizen, and that all have rights. And that all of those rights must be protected. So that, and those are rights. We don't even consider that written into our constitution is the right to a fairly managed economy. That is a right. You could sue the state over the condition of Trinidad and Tobago. You could sue the state. Rhea Mahabir tonight, my friend Rhea Mahabir, one of the columns, the pillars that holds up the Jericho project, Rhea Mahabir, who slaves for the homeless and the orphans and the disabled, tonight is begging for blood for her father, who is in West Shore Hospital. And her father's name, for those of you who can give blood, or if you have blood inside and you have some system where, his name is Sastry Mahabir. If you want, he's in West Shore Hospital, and if you could help Rhea Mahabir. But the point I'm trying to make is, $5 billion is spent on public health every year, and we can't manage a blood bank. $5 billion. Cheryl Ann Scipio, I don't give a shit about the roads. I don't care about the pavements. I don't care the lampposts. I don't care about the bridges. I care about the people. The fact that simple things like education, food production, healthcare, home ownership, those things are overlooked. Those things are set aside. We do not, have never had a government in this country like the Progressive Empowerment Party built on principles that deal with, that address the human condition. It is our ideology. It is our philosophy that you fix the person, you fix the family, you fix the community, you fix the nation. A nation is a collection of communities. If all the work we do is in the community, If all we do right sizes all 41 communities, the nation will take care of itself. If you fix things like the social collapse of the country, you make it so that everybody could own a home, everybody can have a job, and everybody who have a job could own a home, and everybody who own a home could feed their family. You make it so that people don't have to go and rob and steal and kill to get medicine because their child have cancer or they need glasses or braces. Come on, in a nation this wealthy with this much potential, we live in that life or we live in that lie? Tell me now. Because the Progressive Empowerment Party says, it says that the individual person is the sacred symbol of this country. The individual person, that you treat all 1.4 million people in this country, you treat each and every individual as having the same exact rights under every office of state and public or private institution. You treat the blind, the homeless, the disabled, the mentally ill. You treat all of them like they have rights. You treat the indigent, the dispossessed, the poor. Treat them like they have rights. And you will make everybody in this country rise to their potential. We've had conversations about people on wheelchairs can't get jobs. But we have tens of thousands of jobs in this country, like TNTech and WASA, people sitting down behind counters, entering data in computers. Why we can't reserve those for people who are trapped in a seated position? Why? How difficult was that to think? How hard a concept was that to arrive at? Why isn't the Minister of Health put in a position to defend the nation's haphazard approach to mental health? We have serious mental health issues in this country. All of the drug addiction, all of the alcohol addiction in this country has to do with mental health issues. People are trying to escape from the realities of the madness of this country. We need to fix it at that level. I tell all you, I love Gary Griffith. I think he's the best crime fighter they have. But what use is a crime fighter if you have no crime? Why don't we attack it at the seed, in the gestation? Why we don't go after the crime in the womb? Why not? Why are we so insipid? Why are we so intellectually bankrupt and vapid that we don't see the bare hillsides and picture them covered in breadfruit, guava, mango, sapodilla, soursop? Why we don't see that? You could seed them from planes, biodegradable parachutes, dropping seedlings, and let nature take its course. Why is it so difficult for this country to see the poor not as victims or not as responsible for their condition, but as citizens? Why can't we see all of the people in this country, red, white, black, green, and every shade in between, as deserving of the same standard and the same level as everybody else? Children in Goodwood Park, Westmoreland, Valsaid, and Palmis must have the same services, access to, as the children in Mova, Beetham, Laventille, Sealons, Cookeritt, Carnage, Enterprise, and Mbakade. If we said that all of our people were going to be treated as citizens of this republic with respect in things like education, public health, government services, the ability to find a job, pursue a career, develop themselves, own a home, feed their family, you think you will be having a conversation about crime? The only crime you will be trying to deal with then is the white-collar crime and the drug trade that tried to pass through Trinidad and Tobago. And it's as simple as securing the borders. You secure the nation's borders and you unstuff the containers on the ports, and they can't bring scratch bombs into the country unless they push it up their ass. And ain't nobody risking that. Because the wrong spark and you'll lose your shit. Secure the borders, unstuff the containers. All of a sudden, once you secure the borders, once the only way that you could enter this country is to pass through legitimate doors, then you don't have to deal with illegal immigration as smuggling refugees. You process them because you say as a nation, we can handle 400 a year. We'll take 400 a year. America says legally, they will process 1 million a year. Trinidad can take 300-400 a year, or 200-300 a year. Because when you know your statistics, you will adjust all of your provisions of goods and services to account for 200-300 more people a year. So you will know, you will be aware, the country will be capable and functional. Plain talk. Have you ever heard a single politician of any class, color, creed, from any party, talk to you about the importance of fixing this country one person at a time? When you could identify the needs and assess the homeless, I know you're serious. When you could have a plan to treat with the lowest rungs of society, I know you have a plan. When you're talking flooding, and you're saying flooding being caused by plastic bottles, but you don't put anything in place to legislate the cleanup of those same plastic bottles, I know you don't have a plan. When you're talking about the nation drowning in water, and you yet to dig one retention pond, I know you have no plan. The truth of the matter in this country is, we've never had a government that cared for the people to the level where they would consider making the rights of all of the people job one, where all 20,000 children who sit SEA every year, well, abolish that shit and make sure that every school is a prestige school. That's the government's job. That's the government's responsibility. We must not have a two-tier and a three-tier society. We must not be manufacturing labor for Subway, KFC, and amalgamated security. Our job is to create hope and opportunity for all of the people so that everybody could find their innate potential and maximize it. We're supposed to be talking arts, sport, trade. We're not. We treat all of these people with scant courtesy and disrespect. And that has to change. And it's not going to change as long as we're playing bullshit PNM UNC politics or worse. I'm not political. Well, partner, you may not be into politics, but everything about your life is politics and it's into you. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we shift the time to 3 o'clock to accommodate the people who have chores and the people who have jobs. They say, we did a poll, and the people said 3 o'clock better. So we shift the time forward. Our Saturday meet and greet meetings are now going to be at 3 o'clock. You all know, last week we soft launched the Barataria office. We're having tomorrow's meeting in Barataria, Saturday at 3 o'clock. And it's between 6th and 7th Street on 10th Avenue, opposite Maritime Plaza. You can't miss it. Come and join the conversation. Come and be a part of the only political party you never knew you always needed. Come and be a part of the conversation and help us change the nation. Come and be a part of the rescue of Trinidad and Tobago to the point where you and I and everybody we know can have a better life. It's concentric circles, ripples in the pond. All of us share collective humanity. 1.4 million people under one flag. We could do this. We could do this if we really wanted to. We could do this. sharing the video. Share it. Share it everywhere.
If for 30 years
You're voting them in.
and there's only tears, as soon as they win, they give you big words
And enslave your souls. Promising your roads.
and giving potholes. If they are the reason why the economy goes round, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can block, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is the building ISIS,
East, west, north, and south.
the same way you vote them in, vote them out,
Register and
vote them out. Totally
vote them out.
take your finger and vote them out.
Rescue the country.
Put them up with tempo, they have me in vain. Let's put our country together again. Put them up with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again.
Anthony Maraj, he was blocked from the video. Stop carrying his nonsense forward and you just move on.
If their policy is a policy, bureaucracy, a catastrophe, if they cannot cope and you see it so, then your only hope is for them to go. If it is fabrication, these statements that they spout, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is a frustration,
Just make you want to shout.
when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out.
Before they just use out, thief out, sell out, and things out. The same way you vote them in.
Vote them out. Register and vote them out. All of them, vote them out. Take your finger and vote them out. Them and the system, vote them out. Vote them out in Scarborough and in Borders Bay. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out in Kamuto and in Larobe.
Let's put our country.
Together again.
Those of you in the San Fernando, the South, there's a walkabout tomorrow in Princestown. You can meet up with the team, link up with Raphael Banfield, link up with Michelle Davis, she's the Queen of the South. Bessie Chin is her number 2. Shari Wilson, party organizer. Felicia Holder, party chairman. Misty Autumn Day, party organizer. Research officer, Satish Ramsaran. He is the one that's setting up our studios. If you want to help with the media, get in touch with him. Janice Lemon Creaky, PRO. We have a real serious party. We just opened the office in New York City.
People must come first.
Citizens by right. None of we are worse. Yellow, black or white. Food, shelter and clothes. Free movement and speech. A garden that grows. And one law for each. And this is important. Denise Zave, Chalna Birchwood, Chester Birchwood, the team that built the New York City office. We let it pass with not enough fanfare. They just had a successful curriculum fundraiser. The people in the New York City chapter are doing amazing work. And I know that they just up the bar. So Anthony and Jones and that crew in Toronto going to respond. And that's, again, that's what builds this party. What builds this party is the hundreds of people that you, if you are not a member of the party yet, don't see, that really do the work in this party, that gets the job done. Sean Sunarine, Deputy Chair, Felicia Holder, Chairman. You don't see Richard Blaze, Head of the North, Lorena Simon Chelsea in Central, Satish Adisa in the east, Michelle Missy in south. We still, yes, I keep apologizing. Tobago is not an easy thing for us to address yet. We have to build out on the ground in Tobago, and you will know when I am there. Tobago has circumstances that are unique to Tobago and Tobagonians. You cannot go and impose Trinidad politics on Tobago. We have to have a conversation with Tobagonians. We have a lot of Tobagonian peppers. And we have to go over there and organize and set up and build it. But you know, we unfunded. This is a party that funded itself through some financiers and friends who given us some help, and we appreciate each and every one of you daily. But it's barbecue and raffle and curricue and selling shirts. Yeah, and the blue polo shirt apparently was a big hit. Link up with Satish to get yours now. Shipping it anywhere in the world that you are. Maya Khan, our social media management, she handles our YouTube and all that work that happens there. We have a communications team that will blow your mind. You see the level of our graphics. No other political party in this country's history. They're following us. They're following us lockstep. Everything we do, they're doing. Somebody just shared something with me and I put it on my wall. He said, Phillip, what does he say? I don't know all the time. And let me tell you, the network is crap. Digicel and B-Mobile and Flow, all of you will line up in whatever order, each one is shit. Good night, Phillip. There's no opposition. All government reaction is a response to PEP action. And that is an absolute fact. The Progressive Empowerment Party has changed the national narrative 2 years on. A party that's suffering a media blackout, that the media don't cover. We have a public meeting every Saturday at noon, and the media don't cover that. Waste of freaking time. We want a better country. You want a better country? The country that you know we need for you, for your aging self, for your family, for your loved ones, for your children. The country that you want to come back home to, the Progressive Empowerment Party is fighting that battle. We are the front line. We have put ourselves here and stood up for this country. There is nothing else. There is no other political organization that has the depth and the level of information, fact, policy, plans, programs, history. Bring who you're going to bring. You link up all and you join every other political party. They don't match what the PEP brings to the table. And that is not boast, that is fact. We've worked hard to do this. Our politics is real. They're people-centered, people-driven, and it's focused on a better nation.
If it is that injustice is what they always show, when you're voting, vote them wrong. If it is the avarice, it's all they seem to know. When you're voting, vote them wrong. If it is the politics,
It's just a puppy show. When elections day come,
all bandits must go. Register and vote them wrong. If they don't see, vote them wrong. Stay no finger and vote them wrong. Show them no mercy, vote them wrong. Put them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power.
terminate the reign.
Let's put our country together again.
The reign of the two kingpins of bubble and corruption must come to an abrupt and finished and complete end. It is time to fire the PNM and the UNC and then to bring them all to justice. That can't happen playing any, mini, many more musical chairs. That cannot happen. You cannot bring the PNM to justice with the UNC. They can't bring the UNC to justice with the PNM. They're two sides of the same corrupt coin. It is time to fire them and then to bring all of the criminal co-conspirators within them, the Chamber of Commerce, those in the legal and accounting profession, those who hold public office. Misbehavior in public office is a serious crime, and there are plenty of them right now that needs to be brought before a functional court. Trinidad and Tobago cannot rescue itself unless it votes into office a government not only willing to fix what is wrong, but to put in place what is right, and that includes bringing to justice former government ministers who have misbehaved in public office. If you audit WASA alone, you could jail prime ministers. If you audit HDC alone, you could jail prime ministers. Ironically, if you audit national security alone, you could jail prime ministers. In this country, criminality has risen to the top. We've allowed that to be so, and we could change it. As of now, as of this speaking, they've not yet been able to change it. They're chipping away at your human rights, one law at a time. Chip here, chip there. So when you reach in a court and you find out that the rights that you thought you have, you don't anymore. And if you don't have the money to hire a constitutional lawyer to challenge the constitutionality of the law, you'll end up in trouble. We need a country predicated on the rights of the citizens. As of now, you still have the right to vote and choose the political party of your choosing. I implore you, stand up for your country. We are running out of time. You are seeing with each new catastrophe and crisis, people not looking, we hiding with eyes, we burying we head. We don't want to know, we don't want to see, we don't want to hear that again. That's how we behave then. But that can't be the way we manage our country. We cannot be so lazy and irresponsible with our democracy. We have to stand together. It is not that we outnumbered. We just disorganized. Let us organize ourselves. Put down the racism bullshit. It's helping nobody. Nobody. Sorry, I apologize. It's only helping those, the criminals at the top. You want a better country, stand together, put the bullshit aside, focus on policies, programs, plans, and ideas that build this nation, one citizen, one family, one community at a time. Bring back the conversation as to how do we get from where we are to where we need to go. But do not deviate from the fact that where we are is as a direct result of the actions of public office holders. Do not let them weasel out. Keith Rowley has questions to answer. Kamala Persad-Bissessar has questions to answer. Patrick Manning, lucky he dead and gone. Basdio Pandey have questions to answer. Don't let them weasel out. Do not let them evade answering for what they did when they held public office. The time is now. The power is yours. Stand together and stand up. Forget the bullshit. Stop being distracted by noise. Focus on the issues. Focus on the mission. Get yourself motivated. Stand together. One people under one flag. The 99% of us, we own this country. Organize. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, we're meeting in Barataria. Join us. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.